A surprising new development has just emerged inside the Social Security Administration, and it's something every American who depends on monthly benefits needs to understand. A controversial tech figure, previously linked to a fast moving and heavily scrutinized federal agency, has just been brought into a critical role at SSA. If you're wondering how this affects your benefits, your data, and the systems that process your payments, keep watching, because the next few minutes could give you a powerful advantage in staying ahead of changes that are already quietly underway. What you're about to hear hasn't made headlines yet, but by the time this story unfolds, you'll be able to say you knew what was coming before most people even noticed the shift. This matters most to those who receive Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, SSI, or Medicare support. If you depend on these payments to cover essentials, housing, food, medical bills, then you need to know who is stepping into positions of influence at the very agency responsible for managing these lifelines. This isn't about politics, it's about your access to reliable benefits, secure data, and uninterrupted service. Even if you're not currently receiving Social Security, this affects anyone who plans to retire or collect benefits in the next few years. Decisions made today are shaping the systems you'll rely on tomorrow. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of why this appointment is raising eyebrows, what it might signal about changes inside the SSA, and most importantly, how this could directly impact how fast you get your benefits, how secure your information is, and whether we're heading toward meaningful improvements or serious disruptions. We're not just talking about vague policy chatter. We're talking about how a 130-day contract could reshape one of the most important systems in America. So stay with me because the facts you're about to hear could help you protect your benefits and make smarter choices in the months ahead. If knowing this kind of insider level shift matters to you, it's more important than ever to stay informed. It's easy to miss stories like this in between bigger headlines, but staying ahead of these quiet changes can give you a real advantage. Whether you're trying to avoid delays in processing, stay safe from identity fraud, or just make sure you understand what's happening with your benefits, this is where that knowledge starts. So here's what happened. A tech consultant, just 19 years old, has been officially appointed as a special government employee within the Social Security Administration. His job? According to SSA officials, he'll be working on website efficiency and optimizing user systems. The appointment lasts 130 days and is classified as temporary. On the surface, it sounds harmless, just a young tech mind brought in to clean up digital services. But this same individual was, until just days ago, a high-profile figure inside a controversial federal tech agency known for pushing boundaries and causing significant disruption earlier this year. That agency, which no longer operates publicly, drew heavy criticism for bypassing traditional government safeguards while deploying rapid digital changes. At one point, the courts even stepped in to limit their access to Social Security data systems. That context matters a lot. Now, many are asking, is this simply a case of bringing in someone smart to improve systems? Or is this a backdoor move to reintroduce risky tech into one of the most sensitive departments in government? This question isn't coming from conspiracy theorists. It's coming from tech experts, legal analysts, and concerned policy advisors. The concern isn't the age of the consultant, it's the track record of the agency he came from and the lingering legal issues connected to that agency's software access and data handling. Remember, for several months, federal judges had ordered the removal of certain software tied to that agency from the Social Security infrastructure. That's how serious it got. For real people, this isn't just policy talk, it's personal. If you're living on a fixed income, the last thing you want is disruption in your benefits. If you've ever had to reapply for benefits, check your account online, or request documents from SSA, you already know the system is fragile. The fear now is whether bringing someone from a disruptive tech agency into SSA, even temporarily, could lead to glitches, security issues, or worse. And for seniors and people with disabilities, any delay or error in payments can mean missed medications, unpaid bills, or housing insecurity. It's important to clarify a few things right now. No, this doesn't mean your benefits are being handed over to someone with unchecked power. No, there is no current evidence of systems being tampered with or payment delays caused by this appointment. And no, there are no confirmed data breaches at the moment. The SSA still has multiple layers of technical and administrative oversight. But what is true is that a consultant formerly tied to a legally challenged agency has now been placed inside the very system that agency was once ordered to avoid. That's not speculation. That's a documented chain of events. Let's look at the bigger picture. Why would SSA do this? The most likely answer is modernization. SSA systems are decades old. Many users complain that the website is slow, outdated, or difficult to navigate. Bringing in young, fast-moving consultants to modernize government systems is a growing trend. It helps reduce costs, shorten processing times, and serve the public faster. But when those consultants come from agencies with unresolved legal and ethical questions, the public has every right to ask if risks are being adequately managed. If something does go wrong, say a failed update causes a delay in payments, SSA doesn't just take a PR hit, people get hurt, bills go unpaid, trust is eroded. That's the real issue here, the balance between innovation and stability. It's great to improve technology, it's not great to gamble with critical systems, and with this consultant already confirmed to be active inside SSA, the clock is ticking. The 130-day appointment puts us into late October or early November. By then, we may see visible changes to SSA's digital platforms, or we may see internal resistance, delays, or even quiet exits if problems arise. We don't know yet, but we do know this isn't a random story. It's part of a bigger trend where government agencies are racing to modernize, sometimes at the cost of caution. Here's what we can take away. First, SSA is actively trying to upgrade its services, but how it goes about that upgrade matters. Second, this consultant's background raises valid questions about oversight, process, and data security. Third, there is currently no threat to your benefits, but the situation is fluid. Fourth, the end of this consultant's 130-day term will be a key marker to watch. If changes are introduced and things improve, this may turn out to be a good move. If issues start showing up, errors, outages, or sudden shifts in how you access your records, then it's a sign that risk wasn't properly assessed. Either way, it's important to keep watching. If you've made it this far, you now understand something that most people don't. Who's entering the SSA, why it matters, and what to expect. You're ahead of the curve, and that matters when you're dealing with systems that control your income and your future. Stay alert, stay informed. Watch for any changes in how SSA communicates online, updates its systems, or sends out notices in the coming months. If you're wondering whether this is just the beginning of more appointments like this, you're not alone. There's growing talk within federal circles about expanding the use of special government employees to fast-track tech reform in aging agencies. That means this may not be a one-time event. It could be the start of a trend. If that happens, you'll want to know who's being brought in, what roles they're playing, and whether proper safeguards are in place. I'll be tracking all of it and sharing updates as soon as they break, so be sure to stay connected. Make sure you're checking your My Social